Well, you're only limited to 15 characters.
Yeah, that is the problem, isn't it? So, yeah, looking at so although it's an easy to use tool to sort of extract, obviously I'm going to cut off this guy, which weighs in at, you can see here, 17 characters. So I really want to know what the max length is and reflect that in the extract. Now I can just simply, type over the 15 and put a 7, and that'll be fine. That'll take, if in fact that's the max. But that was a good catch. So basically what we do is we can continue down and extract the account number, the payment date, and really we're done. Now, one of the things I want to mention is that this line scale and viewing algorithm must be stored with the extract. So when I click close, it's going to prompt me to save the changes I made. I have to do that or it's going to throw off all my coordinates. And I'm really done. I could actually move on and create a report source and begin processing the information, but I do want to show you a trick. If I highlight the name of the report type and select View, there's a visual tester, which is similar to other tools out there like development environments where you can step through code. There's sort of a little VCR analogy or metaphor up here. And if you hit F8, which I believe is the same as in VB, you just kind of step through and you extract information. And you can actually see this little red cursor jump around on the screen as it builds out the record. You can kind of see what you're going to get before you actually process any information. And I know I have a 5-page sample file, and here's my 5 documents as they're extracted. When I'm happy with my report type, I simply accept the changes, and I go under the report processor and create a new report source, which is nothing more than a polling directory, which we have set up under the Armex data directory. We're going to create a folder called drop. I believe that's in your lab. We're going to look for PDF files, and whenever the PDF file gets dropped into that folder, we're going to process it. After processing, we can choose to delete it or leave it renamed in the original directory, or we can move it into an archive where it's automatically named by year, month, or day. During testing, it's probably a good idea to leave it renamed in the original directory. In fact, because I ran this earlier, you'll actually see a file in there that I can simply go in and rename back to PDF, and the system will begin processing it. One of the things I want to point out here is that this report processor needs to be suspended before you can make changes, before you can add new polling directories. Because, of course, looking at this report sources, I could have many, many different directories added, and I could process many, many different report files. I'm going to select the computer object and select Resume, and that'll begin processing the information. To go out to Windows Explorer, just sort of navigate to the E drive and look at your drop directory and copy the sample report there. I actually have a sample here. I just have to rename it to PDF. And you'll see within a second or two, the ERM engine will grab that file and rename it. Now, there's a couple things happening here, sort of under the hoods. There's a report processor working directory, and it's creating index files and log files. Actually, if you looked at the index file, this actually will contain, this is almost like an, familiar with image index import. It's almost like a file containing all the metadata values that were extracted from the report along with some other information. But that report is uploaded, and if I do a search in ApplicationXtender now, I get my 5 documents. If I pull up the document, because it's a PDF, it's displayed in the native ApplicationXtender viewer, and it looks much like the original report that we had in the viewer, except that within this interface we can annotate it because we have full support for annotations for PDFs. And we can do a text search. I could do a search, to say, show me anything with 2433, and it highlights it, down here, which is nice. Very nice if you have, a 100-page report and you want to look for a widget. Just click on the binoculars button. Or click under Edit. You can do text search or Shift F3, and you can enter text. You can search within the doc. Choose the direction. So doc would mean 200-page report. Search all 200 pages. That'll drill through all of those pages. Even have fuzzy logic, which I'm not going to lie to you, I've never really understood, but it looks really cool in the demo. So with that, I'd like to ask you guys to download the lab, the application exercise, download the water bill. If you need help setting up the applications or anything like that, I'm available. If you have any questions, just give me a buzz or shoot me an email. Are there any questions so far?
Hey, this is Mark, Frank.
Yes, sir.
Is it still an additional cost for PDF?
Yeah, I think PDF is $5,000.
Okay.
The server, by the way, went up. The base server package. I'm glad you brought that up, Mark, because I really didn't talk about licensing, and I should. The server is $7,500. The good news is there's no client licensing anymore. We used to have these bundles. You'd have to buy an Ermex client license or bundle it with an AX license. And it got very confusing. Now you just buy the server, which allows you to ingest EBCDIC or ASCII. It is $7,500. The PDF option, which would allow you to ingest PDFs from the customer's, system, is an additional $5,000. I will caution you on one thing, because we've gotten bit, a couple times on the PDFs. Make sure it's a PDF with, well, there's three kinds of PDFs, as you guys might know. There may even be more, but the three that I think of are image with hidden text, or PDF normal, which is this is PDF normal. You've got, text that you can highlight. It's not an image, this is an actual computer-generated report. You want to make sure you can copy it and paste it. Because as you know, Adobe has many, many different security features. If I look at the properties of this one, you can see I'm allowed to copy content, I'm allowed to extract from the page, etc. I have worked with customers where I do just this. I copy some data element, and I go to paste it, and I end up with this. Or I can't copy and paste. Well, guess what? If I can't do that, or I get this, the system is not able to work with the report either. So, we may have to take off the password protection, or take off the security restriction on the PDF data, and that could require that the customer engineers something upstream. So I'm glad you asked me that, Mark, because you reminded me about licensing, and I also did want to make a few notes on PDF processing specifically, because it can be problematic at times. So any other questions? Well, with that, then, I guess I want to thank you guys for your time. I'm going to send out an email asking you for some feedback. If you could, let me know what you think of today's session, and if you could suggest content that you'd like to see in upcoming sessions. The TechShare sessions are designed, to support you, and if you have anything we can, add something that you think might be interesting, let us know. We'd be happy to add it. So I want to thank you guys for your time, and if I don't get to talk to you again, I hope you have a safe and happy holiday.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care.